The film begins by showing a short-haired police officer named Mike and his assistant, Nail, who are now assigned to secure a raging dog.
What the fuck?
Although he was bitten, fortunately Gibson arrived just in time to save Mike. Moments later, Mike was surprised by Nail's lack of quick response. Not wanting to discuss it, Nail simply told Mike to get himself checked at the hospital, especially since lately the city they lived in had been hit by a widespread rabies outbreak. However, for some reason, Mike thought the wound he suffered was just a small bite. Feeling that everything was settled, Mike asked Gibson to take care of the dog's carcass and find out who the owner was, so they could be charged with a fine or tax. After that, Mike invited Nail to return to the office.
I can't imagine how.
Before entering the office, Nail apologized for his carelessness that caused Mike to get bitten by the dog. However, Mike understood the situation, especially since he realized that Nail was still traumatized by the loss of his son, Ben. It turned out that after his son went missing, Nail often became careless while carrying out his duties. And now, Mike suggested that Nail take some time off and calm himself down.
God damn, Helen.
Dad!
Moments later, Mike's daughter, Olivia, panicked when he saw her father being bitten by the dog. She then urged her father to immediately get a rabies shot. However, the stubborn Mike ignored it, believing that the wound would heal quickly with just some medicine. Finding it difficult to convince her father, Olivia went straight to see Neil. Olivia, who was Ben's girlfriend, handed him a wristwatch she had found during the search. Hearing that, Neil thanked Olivia for her effort and determination in trying to find his son. And as we can see, besides the missing posters of Ben, rabies warning posters were displayed all over the city streets. After returning home, Nail told his wife that he had taken 2 months off to calm himself down. Then, Nail invited his wife to go somewhere to help them heal from the trauma of Ben's disappearance, as he still hadn't been found. At that moment, his wife, who had recently taken to drinking, was seen grieving over photos of Ben. Seeing this, Nail, not wanting his wife to be consumed by sorrow, asked her to prepare herself mentally for the worst possibility, that Ben might be declared dead. Especially after months of searching, their efforts had yielded no results. Though it was difficult, Nail asked his wife to accept the reality.
Here? And
The next morning, while waiting for his wife to wake up, Nail intended to go out for some fresh air. But before leaving, he was seen taking this pistol with him. When he arrived near the lake, Nail, lost in thought, suddenly remembered the moments he had shared with Ben. Back then, before Ben went missing, Nail had taken his son to a valley to pass down a wristwatch that had belonged to Ben's grandmother. He told him that the gold-plated watch was a family heirloom, passed down from generation to generation.
This is really cool.
In the midst of his sorrow, the depressed Neil suddenly attempted to do something foolish, to shoot himself in the head. Fortunately, the scream of a girl who was drowning thwarted his intention. After successfully rescuing the girl, Neil checked to make sure she was all right. Oh my God! Neil was shocked when he realized that the girl he had just saved was actually a zombie! Finally, after a fierce fight, Neil managed to defeat the zombie and kill it. But moments later, Neil panicked when he realized that 2 more zombies were running toward him. Upon arriving home, Neil, realizing that a zombie outbreak had struck his city, immediately used his radio to call Gibson for help. Unfortunately, the radio couldn't connect. Seeing the 2 zombies drawing closer, Neil hurried to grab the ammunition he had. Realizing that he was out of bullets, Neil tried to find something he could use as a weapon. Fortunately, using a shard of a vase, Neil managed to kill one of the zombies. Now there was only 1 zombie left for him to face. Moments later, Neil took his wife to check the situation in the city. He told her that he had been attacked by 3 zombies and was convinced that the zombie outbreak originated from the rabies virus spreading through their city. His wife panicked upon hearing what had happened.
Hey. Big shit going on, man.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Put a seatbelt on.
Oh my God! Seeing that the city park had already been infected, Neil immediately stepped on the gas and rushed back home to prepare supplies for evacuation.
Grab a couple of things, please.
When they arrived home, Neil told his wife to wait in the car. After gathering the things they needed, they immediately set out to find a safe place. However, that night, their journey came to a halt when they ran out of gas. Amid the confusion, Neil, who was about to head to a gas station, told his wife to wait. Upon arriving at the gas station, Neil took a jerry can to fill it with gasoline. After being doused with gasoline and set on fire, the zombie was burned to death. After getting the gasoline, Neil invited his wife to loot supplies. When they arrived at the gas station, his wife was shocked to see a zombie corpse there. At that moment, Neil stopped her from looking at it, saying it was too horrifying. In that situation, his wife could only obey her husband's judgment.
Right, let's go.
However, amid the chaos of the zombie outbreak, Neil still paid for the items he had taken.
Meanwhile, Gibson was surprised when he saw the condition of Neil's house. Sensing that something wasn't right, Gibson immediately went to check it out.
Gibson immediately panicked when he saw the chaos at Neil's house. Amid his panic, he quickly answered a radio call from Neil. It turned out that Neil said he was determined to pick up Mike and his family so they could escape the rabies zombie outbreak that had now spread through the city. Upon hearing this, Gibson hurried to find Neil.
Back to Neil. After finishing the preparations, he quickly set off to continue the journey.
During the journey to Mike's house, Neil's wife, who was starting to come to terms with reality, decided to stop taking her sedatives. Upon arriving at Mike's house, Neil told his wife to wait in the car, but before getting out, he handed her a knife for protection.
Hey, Mike! Camilla, come on. We gotta...
Oh my God! Neil was utterly shocked when he saw that Mike's wife had already been infected.
After Neil shot her in the head, the infected Olivia approached and immediately attacked him.
Neil's wife panicked when she saw her husband trying to kill Olivia. In the middle of the tense situation, Mike arrived and immediately attacked Neil. When Neil was cornered, he begged his wife to shoot Mike. However, the woman couldn't bring herself to do it and decided to run away, leaving her husband behind.
Fortunately, Neil, who had fought back, managed to headshot the zombie version of Mike. Moments later, Neil hurried to find his wife and was shocked to see her being chased by the zombie Olivia.
Unfortunately, in his panic, Neil fell into a ravine. The next day, after having a terrible nightmare, Neil regained consciousness and hurried to continue his search. However, he panicked when he saw that many of the officers had already been infected.
In the middle of his escape, Neil came across a trap and decided to take action. After trapping the zombie police officer, Neil hurried back to the car to look for his wife. Fortunately, the woman was already inside the vehicle. However, finally, Neil managed to escape from the pursuing horde of zombies.
What are we doing back there?
In the middle of their escape, Neil tried to find a signal to call for help.
Again.
While trying to use the radio, Neil ended up talking to himself as he couldn't pick up a single signal. Seeing no other option, he decided to head toward a watchtower. Neil's journey was halted
when the path he was taking was blocked by Belko. On top of that, he noticed several zombies that had become aware of his presence. Upon arriving at the tower area, Neil said that even though his wife had turned into a zombie, he would remain loyal to her. He vowed to find a way to cure her.
After shooting a zombie, Neil immediately used the long-range radio to call for help. Once the radio connected, he was instructed to wait at the tower until rescue arrived. However, realizing that hordes of zombies would soon come, Neil refused to take the risk of staying put. Eventually, he couldn't hold back his tears when he saw posters about the outbreak and missing person notice for Ben. Overcome with grief, Neil hurried down and continued his journey to a safer place.
During his journey, Neil felt relieved when he finally got a call from Gibson. Neil asked Gibson to contact the medical team from the Umbrella Corporation, especially since his wife had already been infected by the zombie virus. Upon hearing this, Gibson told Neil to return home, assuring him that he would send the medical team there. With that settled, Neil immediately headed back to his house.
When he arrived home, Neil immediately called out to Gibson so that his wife could receive medical treatment right away. Oh my God! Neil was completely shocked when he saw that Gibson and his team had turned into zombies.
No!
They're coming. I'm not one.
Look at me! Look at me! It's gonna be okay!
Oh my God! It turned out that the rabies outbreak was nothing more than a severe delusion experienced by Neil ever since he lost his son. And now, Neil began to remember what had really happened.
Neil.
Put it down! Life for what it is, not what we need it to be. It isn't on Earth.
Neil, look at me! Put it down!
It was truly heartbreaking and painful to realize that there had never been any zombie rabies outbreak at all. The people Neil had killed were actually just ordinary individuals. The man he thought had fallen into the water was merely swimming. The two people who chased him to his house were actually the swimmer's friends. The female gas station attendant only wanted to help Neil put out his cigarette. And the most tragic part of all, he had brutally killed his best friend, Mike, along with his wife who had been cooking at the time.
And the zombie police officer who had been chasing him was actually part of the police team trying to arrest Neil for his violent actions. Gripped by deep depression, Neil began to recall what he had done to Ben, how he had tried to persuade Ben not to run away after witnessing the heated argument between him and Abby.
It turned out that Neil's severe delusion about the zombie outbreak originated from Ben's comic book, which had fallen into the ravine. In his confusion, Neil failed to notice his son lying there, critically injured. Now, he saw himself as the main character from Duel King Dead.
Cyric. Yet even after realizing what he had done, Neil, trapped in his deep delusion, couldn't bring himself to believe the reality of his own actions.
Tragically, the deranged Nail was ultimately shot dead after he attempted to kill Abby.
Oh my God! Has this zombie outbreak really happened? Or has it only reached the stage of infecting animals? No one knows, because even the movie ends there.
So what do you think? Quite a shocking film with an incredible plot twist, right? There's really nothing more to explain, because everything is already clear. In short, Ben's death triggered Neil's trauma, causing him to experience delusions and hallucinate as if he were Rick from The Walking Dead, seeing everyone around him as zombies. However, by the end of the story, Neil's rampage was stopped by Gibson and his team. The movie's rating is 4.4, though I personally think it deserves a 5.5. That's all for this review and discussion of the 2024 film Outbreak. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye-bye.